Hey, what it do, Sports World, and welcome to the Real Untouchable Podcast with me, Ray Diggs. I got a great segment for you all. I want to talk about last night's NBA games, yesterday's NBA games, and why I'm upset today. I'm not upset with one game because I kind of predicted the one game, but the other game I'm kind of upset with. But I'm gonna go ahead on. Hey, make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button, and also the share button. And make sure you all give me your feedback on what you all think about this segment, okay? And like I keep telling y'all, man, I'm upset today about one game. In the game, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into it. The Minnesota Timberwolves and the Denver Nuggets game. As you all know, the Minnesota Timberwolves was defeated again by the Denver Nuggets, 115 to 107. Ant-Man had 44 points, but he did not have any help. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you all why I feel that the Denver Nuggets is probably pissed off now. I think the Minnesota Timberwolves have really pissed off the Denver Nuggets. Okay, the defending champions. When you have the defending champions down, okay, and I said this right here in my last segment. I don't understand how you have the defending champions down and then you come out here with no energy in game 3. Okay, then the same thing happened in game 4. You come out here basically playing sloppy basketball. And I want to say this right here to Carl Anthony Towns. I want you to look me in my eye when I'm telling you this, Carl Anthony Towns. Okay, your girlfriend came to the game last night. Yes, she was at the game last night. Jordan Woods, she was at the game. She was watching her boyfriend on Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Your girlfriend came to the game. She was watching you on Mother's Day. And what did she have on? She had on a custom-made jersey with your mother name. As your mother, may she rest in peace, amazing woman. Okay, she had your mother's name on the back of her jersey. And what do you do, Carl Anthony Towns? Let's talk about your statistics. Okay, first of all, you come out there and you shoot 1 for 10 in the first half. Okay, 1 for 10 in the first half. You have 3 points. Okay, and this is right here what makes me so mad about Carl Anthony Towns. Because he is a lazy basketball player. If he's not scoring, he might as well be on the bench because he's not doing nothing else. He's not rebounding. He's not playing defense. This dude is a liability on defense. Okay, you come out here and we know you can't stop Jokic. We get it, but at the end of the day, at least try to hold him down. Okay, Carl Anthony Towns. I swear to God, I've never seen a 7-footer or 6'11" player like you. It seemed like these Kentucky players, Carl Anthony Towns, Anthony Davis, these dudes play the weakest basketball that I've ever seen. I've never seen somebody that be that tall and be that soft. Okay, you come out there in the first half, you didn't give Ant-Man no help. Now, they was down by 10 for most of the first half. They get it down to 7 points. And what do the Denver Nuggets do? Matter of fact, and I'm not going to say what do the Denver Nuggets did. What did the Minnesota Timberwolves do? They allow them to go on an 8-0 run to end the first half. Okay, first of all, y'all turn the ball over, which Ant-Man, I blame Ant-Man for that because they was down by 10. Okay, Ant-Man turned the ball over. They get a fast break, so now it's down. Now they're down by 12. What do the Minnesota Timberwolves do after that? They throw the ball in. I don't even know. Matter of fact, why just throw the ball in and go down by 12 points and y'all good? Okay, at least you're better than what you would have been. But these dudes throw the ball to half court. Jamal Murray gets the ball. Crybaby Murray gets the ball, and then he throws it up 55 foot from the goal, from the rim, from half court, and then he hit a half court shot to end the first half. Now the Minnesota Timberwolves are down by 15 points. Now it's a whole different ball game. And I'm looking at them, and I'm just like, listen, this team right here is playing like a team that do not want to win. And I can tell the mindset of the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is the mindset, y'all. Listen to me what I'm about to say. The Minnesota Timberwolves thought because they had the defending champions down, had them out. They was up 2-0. They had destroyed their confidence. They had Jamal Murray throwing everything on the court. They had him pouting. They had him crying. Man, they had him doing everything. And then they thought that the defending champions was going to bow down to them. But what did the NBA do? The NBA gave the Denver Nuggets 3 days to get ready for game 3. And what did they do? They regrouped. They got their confidence back, and they came out there and they knew that this inexperienced Minnesota Timberwolves team would let them back in the series. And now we got ourselves a series. And a lot of people think that the Minnesota Timberwolves might not win another game, which I'm not saying they're not going to win another game, but it's highly likely that they might not win another game. Going back to Denver. And now you awaken Jokic. Jokic is where the MVP is woke now. You got his attention. Okay. Jamal Murray, Crybaby Murray, he's woke now. Okay, and guess what? Last night, Michael Porter Jr. didn't even have a good game. Let's look at this the stats from last night's game. Michael Porter Jr. had 4 points. He was 2 for 4. He played 35 minutes. He only had 3 rebounds, but he was a +5 while he was on the court. Now you come in the game where your third leading scorer, your third best player, have 4 points, and you still win the game by almost double figures. Make that make sense. I'm gonna tell y'all why. Aaron Gordon played 41 minutes. He was 11 for 12. If Aaron Gordon had 27 points, that's what he had: 27, 7, and 6. If Aaron Gordon have them type of stats, you're gonna lose every time. I guarantee you. And not to say Jokic. Jokic had 35, 7, and 7. Another Jokic night. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope was 1 for 6. This dude had 3 points. So you had 7 points from 2 of your starters, and you still lose the game. But when I get to the Minnesota Timberwolves stats, I'm gonna tell y'all this is the reason why they lost. Okay, you had Jamal Murray, Crybaby Murray. He had 19 and 8 and 5. Okay, but and that was a big reason why, because Murray, he played a good game, but Christian Braun, the ex-Jayhawk, okay, came off the bench 3 for 4. He played all of the fourth quarter, all 12 minutes. They trusted him to finish the game because you want to know why? Because Kentavious Caldwell-Pope was struggling. So they put the second-year man in the game, and he finished up with 11 points, 3 rebounds, and he played good defense in the fourth quarter. Okay, and then you had Justin Holiday that come off the bench, 3 for 5 from 3. He had 10 points plus 11. Okay, now look at this. Now that's right there's a recipe for a win. Now when you go down here and you look at what the Minnesota Timberwolves did, Jaden McDaniels, he was 4 for 8. He had all of his points really was in the first 18 minutes. He had 0 points in the fourth quarter. He had 11 points for the game. Okay, Rudy Gobert, really, he was a +9, but it was a +9 that really you can't even really remember what Rudy Gobert did. Jokic pretty much took him to the hole, did whatever he wanted to do, pretty much dominated him the entire night. I don't understand how you are the defensive player of the year. And some people asking me, hey man, you said that Jokic was the best. I mean, this man right here was the best player, you know, in defensive player in the league. Yes, he won defensive player of the year, but Jokic is exposing the defensive player of the year right now. Honestly, let's be real. Okay, then when you go down to Karl-Anthony Towns, listen, your girl in the game, your girl out here watching you play, you at home. This right here is when you're supposed to dominate. And what do? He come out here and he shoot 5 for 18. 5 for 18. This dude had 13 points and 12 rebounds. Okay. Yes, he was a +4, but it don't matter. You really was the big reason why this team lost. Going 1 for 10 in the first half, you did not provide Ant-Man any help. And now Ant-Man is starting to finally see what LeBron went through early in his career when he had to carry teams to the NBA Finals, when he was out here dominating, and the reason why they couldn't win is because nobody stepped up to go along with him. They're going to have to get him some help. It can't be Karl-Anthony Towns. I'm going to tell you something. Karl-Anthony Towns disappear. Like, I just don't understand this dude, man. He have the potential to be, some nights he come out there and you said, now that's the cat that I'm used to seeing. That's the cat that I'm used to seeing, the one that was at Kentucky, the one that used to be the leader of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Then he come out here and he starts to look like, man, dude, this dude right here look like Kwame Brown. You know what I'm saying? This dude right here look like Kwame Brown some nights. Okay, and that's exactly what he looked like last night. He looked like a more polished version of Kwame Brown. Okay, and then when you look at Mike Conley is not a scorer. He's more like a facilitator. You know what I'm saying? He had 15 and 9 assists, and he did his job. That's what he's supposed to do. He's not going to score 30 points. Okay, it's Karl-Anthony Towns supposed to be scoring the 30. Because if he put up 30, if he put up at least 25, I think the Minnesota Timberwolves win this game. That's just my opinion. And then you go with Ant-Man. Ant-Man, 16 for 25. The dude was 5 for 8 from 3, 7 for 8 from the free throw line, 44 points, +5 while he was on the court, +5 rebounds and 5 assists. He gave his all. But when you don't have nobody else to come along with you, this is what's going to happen. You're going to lose. You cannot defeat the defending champions with just one player. I don't care how many points he scored. Okay. And then when you look at the bench, you had Reed was the only one that had 11 points. Then you had Alexander that had 2. That was it. Alexander was 1 for 7, 0 for 4 from 3, 2 points. When you get that right, that type of production from your bench, that's a recipe for a lose. That's a recipe for a loss. And I'm gonna tell y'all why. Because when you look at Jokic and you look at Ant-Man, they're gonna cancel each other out. Both of them is going to have 35 to 40 points. So they cancel each other out. Who else going to come along? When you have Aaron Gordon scoring 27 and Jamal Morris scoring 19, that cancel out the 15, 13, 11, 11. Because then you're going to get 10 points, 11 points from your 10, 11 from your bench. Okay, when you get just 11 points from your bench on one side, that's going to cancel out everything else. Okay, and that's a recipe for a loss. You're not defeat the defending champions if you continue to do that. Okay, and like I said, this series could be over with. I don't understand how you had a team out, you had them down, you come out here in game 3 with no energy, and then now look, now you are tied up going back to Denver for game 5. And honestly, I think if Denver win game 5, I think they go back to Minnesota and finish them in 6. Okay, all right, but that's all I'm gonna talk about. I'll talk about that a little bit more on the next segment of Minnesota Timberwolves. Like I said, the Minnesota Timberwolves were defeated last night against the Denver Nuggets, 115 to 107. Let's move over to the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers. It's not much you can talk about with this game. The Indiana Pacers pretty much blitzed the heck out of the New York Knicks. They went up by 20 points and they never looked back. It was a 20-point lead in the first half. I feel like the New York Knicks was fatigued. I said this right here in the last segment. I said it. I said that Tom Thibodeau pretty much are running this team into the ground, playing them 40 minutes a game. And it pretty much showed in this game right here. They came out here in the first half. They was down 34 to 14 in the first quarter. And the New York Knicks, in the Indiana Pacers, never looked back. They dominated throughout the game. They was up by almost 30 at halftime. And it was pretty much done. It was a wrap. They was up by 28 points at halftime. Then they pretty much just cruised on in the third quarter, went up by much as almost 40 points. They went up by almost 40 points in this game. And then the New York Knicks came out in the fourth quarter and pretty much outscored them by 6 points, which that ain't nothing. And that's why you come out with a 121 to 89 score. Okay, now they're going back to New York. What's going to happen at Madison Square Garden? They got a game off. They got a day off. But I think it's going to be the exact same thing in game 5. I think the New York Knicks they're going to blitz them again. Okay. And I think they're going to win game 5 by at least 10 points. And then it's going to come back to game 6 in Indiana where they're going to finish them at. Because this team is tired, y'all. They're very tired. When you look at this team, look at them. They only had one starter in double figures, which that was Jalen Brunson with 18 points. He was 6 for 17. Demachenko and Josh Hart and Hart was a combined almost 4 for 20. Actually, they was 4 for 20, 4 for 19. Okay, that's a recipe for a loss right there. It ain't no way you're gonna win a game if your 2 starters come out there and do that. Okay, they combined for 9 points. Okay, and then you got the other 2 starters combined for 12 points. Okay, so if you got your 2 starters basically combined for what? 18 points, 20 points, you're gonna lose the game 100% of the time. It don't matter how much your bench, because their bench is okay, but their bench is not all that. They just got an average bench because they don't even use. And this right here is really the first time that one of their bench players played at least 30 minutes, because normally everybody, and Jalen Brunson, you would think in a blowout like this, he still played 31 minutes. He was the only one, well, him and Demachenko was the only one that played, only starters that played over 30 minutes. Josh Hart, who has been playing 40, 45, 46, 48 minutes, this series played only 24 minutes. He was a minus 29. Demachenko was a minus 40. That just tell you what type of game this was. Now, New York, they can regroup. I don't know if they are. I think fatigue has taken a toll on this team. Like I said, Tom Thibodeau, he said it in his press conference. He act like he don't care. He's sitting there talking about, hey, these are basketball players. The minutes shouldn't matter. Yes, it's gonna matter. If you get out there and if you running around, you're gonna be tired as well. I don't get it with these coaches. These coaches talking about these players are robots or something. Like they don't supposed to get tired. That's just like I got a homeboy. He had like LeBron at 39 years old, supposed to still play 44, 45 minutes. Dude, at 39 years old, he should get tired. Okay? And that's these players, they're human. So, and that's what I think is gonna happen with this New York Knicks team. I think that Tom Thibodeau played the game wrong. He played this series, he coached this series wrong. And that's why I think the New York Knicks may be doomed now. Because going back to New York, I don't know if they're gonna be able to produce the type of energy needed to win another game. And that's why I'm picking the Indiana Pacers to come out here in Game 5, pretty much race off to a quick lead, and Jalen Brunson gonna put on a show. We know that, but I think Jalen Brunson is injured. I do think that, but I think he's gonna put on a show. But I think that the Indiana Pacers is gonna be able to match him, and I think that they're gonna put this series on ice by winning Game 5 in New York, and then taking them back to Indiana and winning Game 6 and advancing to the Eastern Conference Final. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. I hope I wasn't that hard on Cat. I like Cat. He's a hell of a player, but he needs to step up, because I'm going to tell y'all why. Because his young star, Ant-Man, needs him. They're not going to be able to win this series without Karl-Anthony Towns stepping up to the plate and at least putting up 25 points to 30 points a night. Because Rudy Gobert is not a scorer. He's not even a defensive player. I don't even know what Rudy Gobert is becoming a liability in this series. Okay, he played a good game in the first game, but he missed the second game, in which they pretty much dominated the Nuggets in the second game. I think if it was me, I would look towards putting Rudy Gobert, probably rotating these two big men. Okay, try to have one of them got to guard Jokic. They gonna have to figure out how to stop Nikola Jokic, the MVP. And honestly, I don't think they can do it. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this series, both series, and what y'all think is going to happen going forward. As y'all know, tonight we got the Boston Celtics. Like I said, I called this series a long time ago, and it's just breaking news. As y'all know, Donovan Mitchell will not play tonight with a calf injury, so I feel like the Celtics should cruise to a victory tonight, take them back to Boston, and go head on and finish them off in Boston and head on to the Eastern Conference Finals. And the OKC Thunder and the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks is up 3-1. This tonight is a must-win for the Young Thunder. I think if they lose tonight, I think Dallas takes them back to OKC and finish them off. They need to. It's a must-win tonight for them. Same thing I said about the Minnesota Timberwolves. Tomorrow's game is a must-win for the Minnesota Timberwolves. But y'all let me know. Hey, until next time, man. Y'all have a great Monday. Make sure y'all be safe out there. The next episode, I will be talking again about the NBA. These the two games that's coming on tonight, and also the preview of Usyk versus Fury. As y'all know, the undisputed heavyweight title fight is this Saturday. It's gonna go down. As y'all know, man, it was crazy today as the two teams finally met up against each other. You had Usyk team versus Fury team. And you already know, when this Fury team, his dad is crazy. His dad ended up headbutting somebody from Usyk team. And I'm telling y'all, it's gonna be fireworks this week as it lead up to the undisputed heavyweight title fight this Saturday night, with these two finally getting into the ring and face each other. Man, this right here is a much anticipated fight. We have been waiting on this fight, so I'm gonna break down the tails of the tape and why I think who I feel going into this fight have the advantage. So make sure y'all tune in for that. Hey, peace.